Scroll through your feed today, and you'll see dozens of flawless AI voice agent demos, seamless, instant interactions that promise to automate entire departments overnight. Inside actual engineering teams, those same pilot projects are hitting a brick wall. Teams are struggling with integration debt and voice latency that turns human-like interactions into painfully awkward pauses. Researchers at MIT have been tracking the exact scale of these stalled deployments. This data funnel shows the gap between experimentation and reality. While almost 100% of companies are actively testing AI, a staggering 95% of enterprise projects fail to ever reach production. While base models have become highly capable, the real struggle for teams today is the complex, unstandardized architecture of the agentic stack. Industry demand is moving past passive systems that simply read documents, focusing instead on autonomous agents that can execute real-world actions. Making that autonomy work requires 4 infrastructure layers: data integration, environment orchestration, voice synthesis, and cost governance. There are no turnkey solutions here. Each of these layers involves technical trade-offs that directly affect whether a project eventually pays for itself. The first barrier is getting the AI to talk to your existing databases. Right now, many teams are trying to force connections to legacy systems using custom-built APIs that break with every update. The Model Context Protocol, or MCP, acts as a universal adapter, a standardized hub-and-spoke architecture. It gives your agent the capability to discover, read, and act across corporate systems. But granting write permissions introduces vulnerabilities. If manipulated, this exposes systems to prompt injection attacks. If you want to leverage MCP for live actions, engineers must build strict schema validators and mandate human-in-the-loop approvals to prevent catastrophic data overwrites. Once the agent is securely connected to your data, it needs an environment where it can actually operate. This matrix compares 2 orchestration paths: a managed cloud, like Amazon Bedrock, or a media-first framework, like LifeKit. The managed path provides airtight access management and guaranteed compliance. However, for ultra-low latency and fluid, human-like interruptions, LifeKit vastly outperforms managed alternatives. Enterprise leaders face a choice: prioritize immediate, regulated security or real-time conversational agility. Generating realistic audio on the fly requires intense computational power, and your specific text-to-speech model dictates your hardware costs. This scatterplot maps 5 leading open-source voice models, measuring speed against accuracy. Aggressive streaming models like XTTS v2 or Cozy Voice 2.0 achieve sub-200 millisecond latency. But these lightning-fast models require massive GPU memory and suffer higher hallucination rates than a slower, high-fidelity model like Index TTS. Your infrastructure team must decide whether the agent needs to be incredibly fast but occasionally inaccurate, or perfectly accurate with a slower response time. Even if the architecture works perfectly, the final barrier is the bill shock that hits finance teams when these projects scale. This scorecard reveals hybrid AI pricing, layering variable tokens and agentic seat limits over base subscriptions. Charging per agentic seat ties software spend directly to human labor replacement metrics, but variable token usage creates extreme budget volatility, running a constant meter that discourages employee experimentation. Without continuous FinOps governance tracking daily usage and cutting duplicances, successful AI deployment will erode the exact profit margins it was designed to improve. The reality check for 2026 is that no single platform perfectly optimizes for cost, latency, and security all at once. This decision tree maps out the necessary compromises based on your specific business profile. If you are a regulated enterprise in healthcare or finance, your stack looks like this: Amazon Bedrock for orchestration, a read-only implementation of MCP, and a high-accuracy model like Index TTS. You're choosing to pay a premium on cloud and absolute content fidelity. If you are a scale-up deploying a customer-facing sales agent, your stack requires LiveKit for orchestration, paired with XTTS v2 for voice. This achieves the human-like latency required to close a sale, but it shifts the burden onto your engineers to build proprietary security middleware and aggressive FinOps tracking from scratch. To succeed this year, organizations have to stop treating AI as a plug-and-play software subscription and start architecting it as mission-critical infrastructure.